Alright, hey guys, so in this video I wanted to go through the games that were released for December's Humble Monthly, but before I get into that, I do want to show you guys that next month's Humble Monthly includes some pretty amazing early unlocks. You get the Long Dark, Quantum Break, and Dawn of War 3, which is absolutely insane. Probably the best early unlocks I've seen from a Humble Monthly. If you're not familiar with the Humble Monthly, basically you pay $11 to $12 a month, as you can see here. You can cancel at any time, and essentially once you subscribe, you get instant access to the games shown here, and you also get a additional like 5 to 6 random games at the beginning of next month. Typically there's around 7 to 9 Steam games per bundle, along with some extra like non-Steam games or some like humble exclusives. But as you can see here, the Long Dark and Quantum Break have been on my wish list for a long time. I'm really excited to be playing these finally, and Dawn of War 3 is just an added bonus. That game came out fairly recently, so it's very surprising to see that one here as well. And just to show you guys, the Long Dark, it's an exploration survival game, has overwhelmingly positive reviews, and it's a $35 game, which is just awesome to see in a Humble Monthly. Along with that, Quantum Break used to be a Xbox One exclusive, very cinematic shooter, I believe, with some like time bending elements. I've heard good things about this as well, very positive reviews on Steam, which is nice to see, and it's a $40 game, so yeah, some big value coming out next month. And then Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 3. This is an RTS. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with the Dawn of War series. People have mixed feelings about this, but as you can see, it's a $40 game as well. So if you're getting it for like $2 or so, it's probably worthwhile. It's probably a lot more fun than the people who paid $40 for it. But I heard it had some like MOBA elements, so that's probably what turned some people off, because I'm not a big fan of MOBAs. But going back, I mean, I'm just really excited. These 3 games are just awesome. And yeah, definitely worthwhile. And since it's December, I should probably mention like around Christmas time, you can actually wait to get the monthly, and then around Christmas time, if you get some money coming in, you can buy this bundle. I do want to also mention that if you guys use my referral link, if it's your first time subscribing to the Humble Monthly, if you use my referral link in the description below, you'll help me out a whole lot. I think they give me $10 per new person that subscribes to the Humble Monthly, so I'm really appreciative, and thanks to everyone who decides to subscribe to next month's Humble Monthly. So that's pretty much it. I do also want to mention an added perk. If you are subscribed to the Humble Monthly, you get 10% off the Steam store, or I mean not the Steam store, the Humble store, which includes a bunch of Steam games, and they have great discounts, and it also supports charity as well. You also get access to the what's it called? The Humble Trove, or the Monthly Trove. This is a bunch of DRM free games. So if you're subscribed to the Humble Monthly, you can download all of these games shown here, and you can play them. That's pretty much the only requirement, that you're subscribed. You have to have an active subscription, but you can download all the games immediately, and they add new games to this trove all the time. They're not Steam games, but you can download them onto your computer and play them, which is pretty cool. And there's a lot here, and a lot of good games shown here. So pretty cool little benefits for being a Humble Monthly subscriber. It keeps getting better and better each year. But going back, what this video is mainly going to be about is the games that were released for last month. So every month it's like a loot crate of random games, and a bunch of games came out today for people who subscribed for last month, or I guess I should say this month. Like technically this is December's monthly. But yeah, the early unlock was H1Z1. I don't know, it's a survival game. I've never played H1Z1, surprisingly. I'm not a big fan of survival games, to be honest, but this used to be super popular until PUBG came out, or PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, PUBG, probably missaid that. But yeah, it might be a fun little experience. I mean, as a game from a Humble Monthly, you didn't really pay a whole lot for it, so maybe you can get some friends together and have a good time. But yeah, it's like a Battle Royale style survival game. That have been really popular as of late, but I think PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, people find that to be more enjoyable, so I'm not sure if I'll ever be playing this one, but it's cool to see it as an early unlock. Going back, what was next? Next one, Rivals of Aether. Rivals of Aether is a Super Smash Brothers type game, and sorry that I don't have these pulled up already, but I'm just going to go through each one. So this game is very similar to Super Smash Brothers. Looks like it has a great like pixelized art style. And from what I've heard from other people and just judging from the reviews, it seems to be really good. And I think, it used to be in early access. I guess it came out of early access, but looks like a good experience. The only downside is they charge quite a bit for new characters. I think $5 for 2 characters, and then $2 for like individual characters, I suppose. So if you want all the characters, you might have to pay a little bit more. But seeing this in the early unlock is great because it's a $15 game and it hasn't gone on sale very much. It hasn't gone on sale for very much. So yeah, this will be a fun game to play with friends for sure, especially if you're a fan of Super Smash Brothers. This looks awesome. Going back, let's see, the next one, Blaze Blue. This is another fighting game. Blaze Blue, like Calamity something. Chrono Phantasma Extend, the weirdest names, but it's like an anime style fighting game. Looks like people who do enjoy fighting games really enjoy it. 90% plus positive. I'm not a big fan of fighting games. I just never really gotten into them, especially the 2D ones. I like Tekken. I think that's a fun one, but these ones, the combos are just hard to learn and it takes a while to get good at them. But I might try it out. It looks like it has some really nice graphics and the action looks great. So yeah, if you're into Blaze Blue, that's a good one. And the next one, Next Machina. This one looks pretty amazing. In my opinion, the best games in this bundle are Rivals of Aether and Next Machina. And Next Machina just looks pretty amazing, like visually. It's a twin stick shooter, but it looks like you're fighting like an overload of enemies all at once. Has a great like neon color type setting, like all the bullets flying everywhere. Looks very cool, at least in my opinion. I can like go full screen real quick. Hopefully it works. There we go. I mean, that just looks awesome. I'm a big fan of twin stick shooters, so this just looks right up my alley. And how much is this worth? $20 game. So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking out Next Machina if you were subscribed to the Humble Monthly. I'm sure this would be a really fun experience. It does have local multiplayer as well, so if you have a friend over, it might enhance the experience. Going forward, Sexy Brutale. This was in a Fanatical bundle very recently, so I did cover this in a video not too long ago. Not really a game for me. It's some sort of, I don't know what you would call this. Basically, I think you're in like a ball and you're like trying to prevent each guest from getting murdered or something like that. It's like a mystery puzzle type game, and there's like some time travel elements. I don't know, a lot of people seem to really enjoy games like this. It does have about 95% positive reviews, which is pretty awesome. So it's almost overwhelmingly positive, but it looks good, but I don't know. I just haven't played it, so I can't really say too much about it. Next game, what is this? Strafe? Is that what it says? I think so. This is a roguelike first-person shooter. Yep, Strafe. There we go. And it has like a voxelized type feel to it. It reminds me of like old games, like Doom and stuff, like the old Doom. Looks like a fun little indie game. I'm not sure how good it is, but looks enjoyable. I think it said it had over 20 weapons. Is that what it said at the beginning? I think I missed that, but looks fun. And roguelike games are typically very enjoyable and have a lot of replayability. It definitely reminds me of the like retro shooters. So yeah, that's a cool game. Passepartout, is that what it says? Hopefully I can find that one. Passepartout, yeah, The Starving Artist. This game looks really cool. This was on my wish list for quite some time as well. Basically it's a game where you're like selling art on the street and you like make your own art, which is kind of cool. It's like a simulator, I guess. Sell your art to rude customers in order to progress in this confusing art scene. The only thing threatening you is expensive wine and baguette addiction. Will your art end up in the lavore or in your parents' fridge? So it's basically like an art simulator where you're just like designing new pieces and then selling them. It looks really funny and like just like a fun little experience. Oh wow. All right. Be a really fun game for people who are really good at like Photoshop and stuff and drawing. I'm not very good at drawing, but it'd probably be fun. Next game, let's see. So that's all the Steam games for this bundle. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is kind of on the low end in my opinion. But you also get 3 extra games. So you get a sneak peek of Way of the Passive Fist, which I don't think is on Steam yet. Yeah, it's not out yet, and you don't get access to the full game, but you do get like a little demo, and I think this is another fighting game, or maybe a brawler. So you get to play an early version of this. You also get, let's see, let's go back, Thorn and Crescent Bay, which are humble originals, which means that they're like kind of like prototype games, but they're full games. Let me scroll down and see if they have trailers. Yes, they do. So here's Thorn, a first-person job simulator. Who the heck would want to play that? I don't know. Let's see.
When we talked about the value of credit, how it makes us better humans, how it gives us something.
So these aren't Steam games, but you can download them and play them on your computer.
Well,
I don't know why they don't release the Humble Originals on Steam. They could surely do it, and I'm sure they would sell pretty well. Some of them are actually really fun. Alright, so I'm not sure what to think about that. A first-person job simulator. Sounds odd, but maybe an interesting experience. And then Crescent Bay, what is this? First-person psychological thriller. This one might be a little bit more enjoyable. I don't know why it takes so long to load. There we go. So this is like sort of like a mystery game. Yeah, it's kind of like a mystery detective type of game. Solve the mystery. All right, the Humble Originals are always like smaller games that honestly they're not usually worthwhile, but sometimes you get a fun little unique experience. So those are just some added things thrown in. But overall, I think this monthly was worth it, at least in my opinion. Let me scroll down and look through the games again. I would say the best games: Rivals of Aether, Next Machina. If you're into like Battle Royale games, H1Z1 is great, but I'm sure most of you already owned H1Z1 like previously if you were into games of this style. Blaze Blue looked pretty cool, little fighting game. And the rest, I would say Strafe looked fun. I like first-person shooters. Pass Partout looked fun, and Sexy Brutale looked, I don't know, might be a fun experience. I know a lot of people just really enjoy games like that for some reason. But yeah, overall, I would say it was worthwhile. I wouldn't say it was the best monthly in the world, but I'm really eager to play Next Machina. I think that was a pretty cool game that just my interest. I love twin stick shooters. But overall, I would say, I don't know, it wasn't amazing, but Rivals Aether, Next Machina, they're worthwhile. So I would say overall, it was worth it. But again, next month's Humble Monthly, if you subscribe now, you get instant access to these 3 games. And honestly, the value included here, I think it actually shows up here a little bit, like the value, just $35, $40, $40. So in total, that's $115, I believe. That is a crazy for early unlocks. It's just awesome. So yeah, next month's monthly, definitely worthwhile. Make sure you guys use my referral link in the description below if you do plan on subscribing to next month's Humble Monthly. If you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate it if you use my link to subscribe. And just let me know what you guys think about the games that were released last month and the early unlocks for this month. What do you think about the monthly? Is it worthwhile? Have you been enjoying it? And yeah, just let me know. And be sure to check out the Trove. A lot of people don't know about the Trove. All these games here you can play for free if you're subscribed, and you get 10% off the Humble store. So this winter sale, whenever everything goes on sale, make sure you guys check out the Humble store and find something you might enjoy. So that's it for this this video. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.